Here we go, people. The first stream that's not a live watch along. We decided we wanted to bring back streams of some sort just to get to chat to you people, give you our thoughts on everything that's going on in Manchester City. It's kind of like a pilot stream, if you like. If you like them, we will continue them and we will talk to you. We love getting to talk to you live. We always see all of your comments down below in the videos, and I think it's only right that we get to speak a bit more face to face, a bit more live. Do you know what I mean? So me, Darren, Joe, the three boys, we're going to sit here and talk a little bit about the Premier League so far, how we've done 2-0 over West Ham, 4-0 over Bournemouth. A lot to cover there. The new signings, all that kind of thing, how we're playing, how we are shaping up, and I'm going to give you a few my little thoughts too. United lost yesterday, of course. That's a great result. It's been a great weekend as a City fan. I was at the game yesterday. I think it was like 35 degrees heat in the Etihad Stadium yesterday, and I was sweating my bollocks off. I was sweating. I really need that. I was sweating, right? And the City said they were going to have this water refill stand all around the stadium where you can go and just refill your bottles of water. I felt like I was going to pass out at one point. I was standing in block 115, where everyone stands, as you know, if you go to the games, and we're all cramped together like that, and there's sweat pouring on my face, and I'm going, go on Erling, oh, Jack Grealish is on, oh, I'm about to fucking pass out. Those water refill stands were a lie. It was a hoax, City, and I'm calling you out on that. But listen, we got the result anyway. Let's see who's in the chat before we start getting into the real stuff. We've got Adam. Good evening, lads. Yes, Adam. Good to see you, my friend. John Anderson. Some of these are the new subs. If you've come from the Big Six show and you've seen me in the Big Six and you've joined us since then, let us know in the chat and we'll big you up there. Luke, who would be your ideal front three going forward? We will get into all that. MCFC Normski says Foden, Haaland, Alvarez. That's an interesting one because we've not seen a huge amount of Alvarez. And of course, Dano's in the chat. City on top and United. I don't know what those emojis are doing. And he says smash the likes for them, people. Yes, if you haven't done so already, smash the like button. Get it up to, it's on 14 now. Try get up to 20 if you can. Share the stream around and we'll make these a normal thing. I really enjoy streaming. I love the live content. Anyways, enough of my waffle. Joe, Dara, what are we saying? How are we doing, boys?
Got a splitting headache, but I'm actually happy to be live. This is the first stream I've done about, how long has it been since we've streamed properly now? Probably about 5 months.
Oh, the last one must have been, I think when I was setting it up, like scheduling the stream, I think the last one was it was a Haaland one, like before we got him. Like it's been.
I don't even think I was on that. I don't even think I was on that one.
No,
it was. That was the time when I ordered food and I had to proper half eat it as everyone was talking.
Uncharacteristic of you.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Right, listen, lads. Let's get started. The Premier League is underway. We've played 2 games, 1 away, 1 at home. We thought West Ham away was going to be a very difficult fixture because of the history we have there and that we usually start slow in the league anyway. But nevertheless, we got the 2-0 win. Haaland played out of his skin. I know it was kind of similar to yesterday in the sense that he didn't have a huge amount of touches on the ball, but when he was on the ball, he was very influential. What do we think about the opening 3 points?
I was so happy. I was very, very, very happy. I was actually really impressed with how just on it they were compared to what they were last week, or like the week before with Liverpool. Like they look like a different team. I think for sure though, I mean the main thing has to be the wing partnership. That wing partnership was so much different. It looked so much better, just faster, and Grealish looked a different player. Like that down the wing was just unbelievable.
Which partnership are you on about?
Grealish, Foden.
Yes, great, because they offer something different. Joe, I know you have thoughts on that. When Grealish and Mahrez play together, it doesn't work.
Does he have thoughts?
Christ, does it not work? Oh my goodness. I think, yeah, you have to start Foden. He's pretty key to us playing great football. I mean, when Grealish came on at half time against Bournemouth, like I wasn't too bothered because we were 3-0 up, but I knew we probably weren't going to score again while we had Grealish and Mahrez on the pitch. It just doesn't work. They're just two of the same. They love to cut inside. They love to pass in field. Sometimes they like to play it safe. You know, Foden adds a little bit more. He's a bit quicker. He's a bit more tricky. He's willing to get in behind at least, and he can play on both sides, so adds a bit of versatility. Or Alvarez on that right-hand side. We saw that against Liverpool as well, where he came on that right-hand side, and he was actually all right. So you got to have someone who's got a little bit of pace, a little bit of directness, because I think you run the risk of, if one side's not working, say you're trying to go down the left with Grealish, and it's not working, and you go down the right with Mahrez, and it's not working because he's trying to do similar sorts of things. Like, you've got to have something else. And it also doesn't help at the moment with having Cancelo tucking in and Gundogan being a right footer on the left hand side of midfield, also tucking in with Grealish on the left hand side, tucking in. We don't really have much width. Hopefully, Sergio Gomez will fix that when he finally gets announced, because we take an age to announce things as a football club. People have been taking selfies in the stands with him. So I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, I didn't expect us to start the season like this. Maybe Liverpool woke us up a little bit. Maybe that was a massive reality check, because although we lost, it was kind of embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. I thought that was a very, very embarrassing weekend. Like, we didn't come out at all against them. I thought we were very, very poor. I don't know if I ended up on the video, so I kind of aired it out there, but it was the most sluggish I've seen the start of the season in ages. And I remember we played Liverpool 2 or 3 years ago in that Community Shield. 3 years ago.
2 years ago, I think. Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, and it was just such a high level game. They came out straight away being like, we want to win this. Didn't look half like that the last time. That's why I was so disappointed in it. But, West Ham more than made up for it, to be honest.
After that Liverpool game, I was genuinely really concerned going into that opening day of the season game against West Ham. Really, I was. I thought against Liverpool we looked really slow and sluggish and unfit and not sharp. And I know it was a great result against West Ham, and we had that magical moment, or the magical 2 moments where Haaland got us 2 goals, and we've been waiting months for that sort of thing. But the actual performance against West Ham, it wasn't groundbreaking. Like, it wasn't vintage City. It was good, and it was a lot better than previous opening day performances. But then we move on to Bournemouth, and it was kind of just business as usual. It was just a run-of-the-mill fixture. I was sitting beside a Bournemouth fan on the plane over from Dublin Airport to Manchester, and I was like, are you optimistic about this? And he's like, yeah, it should be handy enough. And then I saw him in the airport on the way back in Manchester. And I'll get into what else I saw in the airport, because people are calling me a liar on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Twitter and you follow me, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. But I saw that Bournemouth fan in the airport, and he just looked absolutely dejected. But listen, what I saw in the airport, as I've kind of just alluded to there, was Bernardo Silva. There was 3 City players in Manchester Airport yesterday. I posted a tweet about it. For those of you who follow me will know what I said. I said that Bernardo Silva is in Manchester Airport straight after the final whistle against Bournemouth yesterday, and he was seemingly on a flight to Barcelona. Now, basically, I only saw Cancelo, Rodri, and Bernardo very briefly. They weren't together. They were kind of going their own separate ways. I only saw them for a matter of seconds because I was at the very back of the security line. They were at the very front. Bernardo got double checked in security, by the way. Bernardo got double checked in security, but one of the security guards in Manchester Airport, he was this big Polish guy, but he seemed to be a big City fan. He was like, oh, you've just missed Bernardo, Cancelo, and Rodri. You've just missed them. And I was like, oh, really? Yeah, where are they? It hadn't really clicked with me that Bernardo was getting on a flight to somewhere. I was like, oh, really? Where are they going? I don't know where Rodri and Cancelo are going, but I know that Bernardo and at least one of his representatives are about to board a private flight to Barcelona. And I just went, oh no. I knew it felt almost like deja vu level from when we were there about 12 months ago, and we thought he was leaving then. But this one felt a lot more real. I was like, oh no, Bernardo's going. And then Gerard Romero, my favorite journalist of all time, put up a tweet today. Yeah, he put up a tweet today. He said that negotiations are now officially underway between Barca and Bernardo Silva. So I think I'm right. People call me
there was an agreement. I thought you said there was an agreement.
Me?
No, fucking Gerard Romero said there was already an agreement. That fucking spoofer.
No, I don't know that there's an agreement, but I know I'm like
No.
Oh, Mike, I'm 99% certain that I'm 99% certain that Bernardo got on a flight to Barcelona to negotiate with Joan Laporta. Like I saw him in the airport. The security said he was going to a private lounge. And like it's ominous. It's like Bernardo.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. But what I'm saying in this situation is Gerard Romero said there was already a complete agreement, so he's an absolute fucking bullshit.
I know, but like whether he's a bullshitter about like 50% or 60% of what he says, there is no denying that he is a PR man for Barca, and he's fully fed information. He's fed information by Joan Laporta. So if he said now that negotiations are officially underway, based off what I saw in the airport yesterday and what I was told by security staff, I believe that's true. I believe, and we obviously everyone saw Bernardo at the end of the game yesterday. You know, he clapped all 4 sides of the pitch. He was the last person off the pitch. He gave his shirt away. It seems really ominous. He's gone, man. And there's no sign of any replacement, which is it's not good, man. Like we don't have the most depth in our squad as it is, and then to lose a player of his caliber isn't great. Before we go any further on that, I'll look into some of the messages some people are sending in here. Shane says, "What's this about sun cream at yesterday's match, guys?" I don't know. I didn't see any sun cream. There's a new bar though in the South Stand. For those of you who go to the South Stand, there's a new bar. It's quite cool.
You try the Asahi?
Yeah, I did. It was quite nice.
No,
MCFC Normsky says, "I would like to see Grealish play with KDB, but with Gundo being made captain, it may not happen. Just because Gundogan's captain now, it doesn't mean he'll play every game. I mean, Fernandinho was club captain last season. He didn't play every game. Dara Morty says, yup, lads. Yes, Dara. We need to give Ake credit. I'll let Dara talk about that. He's a big Ake advocate. Seamus Kelly says, is Bernardo off to Barcelona with De Jong moving to City? We kind of just covered that briefly, and we will talk about that more. Yeah, Bernardo's off, man. Like I'm almost certain Bernardo is gone. He's as good as off. But with De Jong to City, absolutely no. I don't think that's a thing. 13-year-old kid with tattoos, Dr. Footy says, Haaland off ball play looks really good. Yeah, we'll get into that as well. That's a big topic we want to talk about. Any of you, anybody watching, the 16 watching, make sure you've hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I want you all to give me your thoughts on how Haaland has performed so far, because I think it's a very interesting one. A lot of people saying, oh, he's only got 8 touches on the ball. He's not scored against Bournemouth, a game we all thought he was going to feast in. So get your thoughts in, and we'll read them, and we're going to talk about that very soon. Dano says, let him leave. I'm tired of this. Just get a quality replacement in from Gundogan will step up. Yeah, that's definitely something worth bearing in mind. The system and formation that Pep is implementing this season doesn't fit a Bernardo Silva in this team. I don't agree with you on that. I
do. That's the video. That's the video I was telling you about. That's the video I want to make.
You think the way we play this season, or the way we've looked so far, does not fit Bernardo Silva?
Yes, I do agree with that.
Bernardo fits into any system in the world football. He's that fluid a player, that unique in the way he does things. He fits into any system. The reason he hasn't started games or the first 2 games of the season is because he's off. It's because he's off.
No, for sure, yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's not. He's not being dropped because he can't fit into the system. I'm sure he can, but at the same time, it seems like Gundogan is suiting the system much better for the minute. Because, and again, I think I half touched on this in the review. If you have those 2 fullbacks that are basically dropping into midfield, which again, we're going to keep doing because we have Sergio Gomez now who can play the opposite side, you are allowing pretty much another attacker. And we know, look, Gundogan's one of the best poaching midfielders in the world, right? Gundogan can be that attacker to get in behind and score those goals like he did yesterday, right? As good as Bernardo is, he doesn't have that goal-scoring instinct as Gundogan does. That's why I think he suits this much better. Because again, you saw yesterday the hold-up play with Haaland. For Gundogan to get into behind, De Bruyne could do it. Bernardo could do it, but just not to a higher level as Gundogan. Grealish could do it. Foden could do it. Mahrez can do it. I think it's just, this will be the system. And I think Gundogan suits it absolutely fucking perfectly.
Yeah, what do you think?
What do I think? Yeah, I mean, is his head in it? I don't know. To be honest, I don't really care, to be honest. I think people are worrying too much. The fella can't even get out of bed without people saying, oh, his head's gone, he wants off. Like, people are worrying far too much. Like, patience with this. They can negotiate. Barcelona can negotiate all we want. We've set a non-negotiable price. Like, they can try do whatever they want. Like, they pay the money, so be it. But I kind of agree with the point. It's more suited towards Gundogan. Goal-scoring midfielders, goal-getting midfielders. It's more suited, clearly, because, I mean, just look at Haaland. Again, like you said, he didn't feast against Bournemouth. Why is that? Because he's gravitating 3 players towards him, which leaves space for the other players. Bernardo Silva's not a goal-getting midfielder. He's an energetic midfielder. He's a link man. He links the play together from back to front. He doesn't get goals. Gundogan does, which possibly favours him more. Maybe it's a tactical tweak, because maybe we think, you know, with the chance that Bernardo Silva might be off, maybe it's a tactical tweak to go, well, in the, you know, if it does happen, then we don't need to change much. You know, maybe it's that. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not really too fussed, to be honest. If he leaves, he leaves. Yeah. If he comes back into the team, he comes back into the team.
I'm coming at it from a point of defeatism in the sense that I think he's gone already.
Well, I don't think he's
my heart here. We're talking about Bernardo fucking Silva, for God's sake. This guy...
Listen, big man, I don't think he's gone. I don't think he's going anywhere this year. And if he does, I will take the 100 million euros and run with it. Sign a replacement for not even the full fee. Bob's your uncle's, Mary's your auntie, fucking all of this other shite. I mean, does it matter? We're 2 wins out of 2. The only other team to have done that is Arsenal. We've scored 6 goals and conceded none. without Bernardo Silva playing a key part.
We played fucking Bournemouth, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't
And West Ham. We
And
played
West
some
Ham,
European football.
Our mates West Ham, European football enthusiasts. We played them, we beat them, clean sheet. All I'm saying is he a good player? Yeah. Was he one of our most important players this last season? Yes. Does it look like we're missing him this season? No.
No, it doesn't, because Gundo has started every game because Pep doesn't want to start Bernardo because Bernardo is off. But what I'm saying is, when we come up against different opposition, that
I think you're right. I think I agree with what you're about to say. I think when you come up against a team that are pressing from the front like Liverpool, they're going to miss Bernardo Silva completely. But I think what he's trying to do is, by adding those two extra midfielders, two extra holding midfielders in the fullback, he's going to be press resistant. But that will leave in behind absolutely fucked, I think.
Seamus says, very hard for Haaland to play with other teams having so many players in their own penalty area like yesterday. That's it. And Bernardo could be useful in those situations too. Bernardo's a fantastic link man. But what I do agree with both of your points is that Gundogan does suit the system better when Haaland is on the pitch. Gundogan is more of a player that can link the defence with Haaland. He seems to have a better eye to work with a striker, whereas Bernardo seemed to really flourish in that false nine system. I mean, if you remember correctly, when Bernardo first arrived, we were still playing with Aguero, we were still playing with a striker, and Bernardo wasn't someone that hit the ground running. Bernardo really had his A-star seasons with City when we played that false nine formation. And now that we're kind of going back to a striker, which it seems to be the way we're going with Haaland, it doesn't suit him, and it does suit Gundogan. But I still can't help but feel we're about to lose. I disagree
with that point a little bit. He won Player of the Season when Aguero was starting up front.
As a winger.
As a central midfielder, he replaced De Bruyne. When De Bruyne was out for the season, he won Player of the Season in midfield with Aguero up front.
And Gundogan.
Yeah, he was good. But you do agree that he had his best seasons when the false nine formation was in play.
Yeah. I think overall he was better without the striker, but he still won Player of the Season with one. That's
because he's that good, man. He's that good. I'm not like, it doesn't mean because just I'm saying Gundogan's better with the striker in front of him. It doesn't mean Bernardo's crap. Like, Bernardo is a world class midfielder. That's why I believe he can fit into any system. But I do agree with the point that Gundo suits it better. Dr. Footy says, I think next season he will leave. I don't know, man. I think he's going to leave this season, and I want to talk about why as well in a second. Dano says, Gundogan in and Bernardo out was the greatest substitution in Premier League history, Hugh. Remember, of course, man. Gundo's the man.
We were there.
Bernardo's off.
We were there.
Bernardo is off either now or in the summer. There's also a to this story, which is that it's Barcelona we're dealing with, and we know whether we like it or not, and whether we choose to acknowledge it or not, our board have this weird soft spot for Barcelona and giving them deals that are not like we wouldn't do to anybody else. I know we got, what was it, the big fee for Ferran Torres, that was great. But
shit. He's so shit.
Bear in mind that we turned down, I think it was like 13.5 million for Eric fucking Garcia just to hold on to him and then let him go on a free. Like, that's weird.
We've changed since then. Our business is so much better this season than it ever has been.
You know, he's got a haircut and growing out a little bit of a beard. I was watching him last night. He looks about 4 years old, but he's about 3 years shorter.
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if we accepted something stupid like 55 million for Bernardo Silva, and they'll go, "Oh, it's on the basis that we don't want players to at the club who don't want to be here." They'll bang that drum all day long, but the reality is, I just give them Barca an easy time.
We literally prize clubs out of Nathan Ake. I mean, like,
because Nathan Ake wants to be, he's a fucking warrior.
Fucking shut up! He was twerking for Chelsea.
I know.
Nathan Ake had agreed a fee with Chelsea, or agreed personal terms with Chelsea.
I was taking the piss.
And we priced them out because we wanted 50 million. Like, you think this is the thing that everyone, like, this was the thing with Ake. It was like, oh, we're gonna sell. It's a bad decision to sell for 40 million, and we priced them out. And you know, I was one of the people who was banging this drum of our business has been exceptional so far. We're not going to bend over just because a player wants to leave. Exact same situation here. He's got 3 years left on his contract. We've started the season already. We've set our price tag. If they can pay, fair enough. To be honest, if they can pay that, I'm more than happy to see him walk out the door because everybody's happy. We get our cash. They get the player that they want. No one in the dressing room's unhappy anymore. We carry on as usual.
27 in the building with us now. This is absolutely fantastic. Get in your thoughts on the Bernardo Silva situation as well. We're going to move on to Haaland now in a few minutes as well, but get in your thoughts on Bernardo Silva while we're still talking about it. Make sure you hit the like button as well and subscribe if you're new. At the time, a few minutes ago, we were 2 subs off 3.2k. So if you're not subscribed already, do that and help us get 3.2k. That would be massive. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. The Bernardo Silva thing, man, it's annoying. Someone says if he was in the airport, it would be in the news. No, it wouldn't be in the news, man. Players are in the airport all the time. You can say the exact same about Rodri and Cancelo. And people who are pictured on Twitter, if you go on Twitter and look at Bernardo Silva airport, loads of people got photos with him yesterday. I just wasn't fortunate enough to get one with him. So everyone's calling me a liar. But Rebel got one with him last year. Remember you shed a few tears last year, Rebel?
I thought he was off last year, so I was like, all right, that's kind of somewhat upsetting. Ended up in a photo of him. We got a photo with 3 other people. I'm not counting Cancelo because he heard me.
I remember standing inside the door of Manchester Airport facing you, and you had your back to where Bernardo came in, and I was like, "Oh, there's Bernardo Silva." I was very drunk. I was very drunk, people. Just to bear in mind, I was literally like, "Oh, Bernardo Silva." Revel turns around. And goes, he's leaving. He's leaving.
You know what's funny though, right? That's not how it happened. Right now, my part's completely accurate. That's not how it happened. Murray goes me, that's Bernardo Silva, right? And it's falls down quite. Bernardo! Shouts at him, right? Top of his lungs. Turns out, small little man sandals turns around, right?
Sandals.
He's in sandals. Not sandals he keeps wearing in the
Yeah,
together.
because he dresses like he's about 45.
No, he just like he's living over in the Algarve.
Listen,
man.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone this summer anyway. Can we agree on that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You think he's staying, Joe?
I think he's staying for another year.
Why?
I think it's unless something happens that makes me change my mind. I've been in this camp all summer that they just don't have the facilities this year, and they'll come back next year.
Economic lever.
They do have the facilities.
The fifth economic lever was Frankie de Jong leaving, and he's refusing.
There's some weird shit going on in that club right now. They're selling off rights to all sorts of TV promotions and Barca studios. They just registered Rafinha. They're doing some really fucked up shit. I don't know what it is. They're getting away with murder. I bet you somehow they will muster up the cash to get Bernardo Silva, and it won't be the cash that we think is sufficient.
It will be the cash, otherwise the player won't go.
They have to still register Kunde.
Yeah, they're still over the wage bill in La Liga. They cannot register Kunde at the moment. They still need to get rid of someone or sort out contract renewals just to be at the salary limit. So even if they have the cash to sign Bernardo Silva, they don't have the salary room to register him. Like,
it's the worst rank club ever.
It's a tricky one. And also, when they were selling all these rights and all these percentage stuff, apparently they did one of them illegally by selling it to a place where they owned or had a stake in. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't really care. They get their money somehow. They're a club that is never going to go bust, despite the fact how they probably should be. They're just too massive. But again, like, I think he will stay. There's if he does go, we're not getting Frankie de Jong. I wish people. I keep seeing Frankie de Jong's name. There's no chance we get Frankie de Jong. Like, he just doesn't seem to want to come to Manchester. At least at United, anyway. But Bernardo Silva for me is staying for another year. I think he will be off next year because Barcelona, like, he's their for them, he's their final piece. They've got everything else they want. So I think he'll be off next year. But this year, I think we'll keep him because of the circumstances. Maybe if this was a few weeks ago and they got their shit together, they got their illegal shit together a few weeks earlier, then maybe.
We have to bear in mind that when it comes to illegal shit, as you call it, and Barcelona, they don't run parallel. It doesn't matter how illegal Barcelona is. Illegality and illegality doesn't apply to them. They're so above the law at this point in football. They can just do what the fuck they want. Right now, that club should not be in existence. Their finances are so poor, that club would be bust right now. Who's the club in France, in like France second division, that they own 9.5 million to, that just went bust? If FIFA really cared, UEFA really cared, and FFP really cared what Barcelona did, they go in and say, there's a club about to fucking die, they're on their knees here, and you owe them cash. Get it together. No.
Oh, no.
Because UEFA are so
liquidated pretty much.
UEFA are so fucking petrified that Barcelona are going to go, what, you want to start a war with us? Right, let me go ring up Juventus and Perez at Real Madrid and we'll start another Super League. even if it fails, will still cause the controversy just to piss you off. They're almost not a football club anymore. They're just an institution. The banks won't bounce a check off, and they can call the shots, and they govern themselves at this point. Like that's what I mean by there's some fucked up shit going on there. That like if City did what they do, like we would be investigated 10 times over as we always are, and we'd be put into suspensions and kicked out of European competition, all that stuff. They're in that 0.5% of football clubs that are so powerful they can just do what the fuck they want. That's why I'm worried.
It's the master plan, though. They clearly, judging on this, at least this is what it seems like to me, them selling essentially all their future revenue for the next 10 years, meaning the only revenue that they might get is like ticket sales and merch sales. Like they won't get any TV money. They must be adamant that this Super League is going to happen. Like they must be fucking adamant that they will receive that big pay package from the Super League happening. Because remember, they never pulled out. So they must think it's like dead set on happening in like the near future. Like that must be their plan. Otherwise, you know, it's a bit weird that they're essentially selling all future revenue. I mean, I know it doesn't really matter to them because even if it doesn't happen, they'll still be all right. It's Barcelona, they can do what they want. But
no, you're right. And the reason they're willing to sell Barca Studios and all their TV rights and all that kind of stuff is because they don't think it's going to exist in a while. Yeah, you're right. There's like legally in the Super League, they just do what the fuck they want. And the thing is, someone put in a comment there, Dr. Footy says La Liga going to bail them out. You're right. La Liga will always back Barcelona because Barcelona and Real Madrid are bigger than La Liga. Without La Liga, if Barcelona or without Barcelona and Real Madrid, La Liga are absolute crap. Like it's a complete farmers league. I'd back the League of Ireland to get for their money. So they need Barca and Real Madrid to keep getting in the best players, keep afloat, keep doing their thing, and keep being powerhouses. And that's just the way it is, and we have to deal with it. If it was any other club in for Bernardo Silva, I'd say no. The guy's got 3 years left in his deal. We've asked for a minimum of £80 million. No one's going to pay it. It's grand he's staying. Why am I worried about Barcelona? Because of all this corruption that goes on with that club.
Yeah, dead right. They're just a pack of fucking weirdos over there, man. I'll be honest, it's just so weird. They're selling everything, right? Selling everything. They're relying on the Super League, which, look, I'm going to raise my hands up. I think that Super League will happen. I think eventually something will give. That Super League will happen. Barcelona will be saved. That's the way it's going to go. But how they're getting away with what they're getting away with now is fucking abysmal. Like, they've paid 60 million euros, couldn't they?
Something like that. Less than Chelsea were going to pay.
Can't register them. They just about registered 4 other players, 2 of which for free signings. They're being run by Cowboys. Like, it's meant to be the biggest club in the world. They're being run by Cowboys put into the fucking ground. As soon as Bartomeu left, they were saying, oh yeah, this will be great, everything's going to work out. Laporta has actually dug them even deeper into that. And then, what makes it even funnier, I'll tell you what makes it even funnier, before we go back to City Talk, they actually outed themselves for being criminals just to get Frankie de Jong off the wage bill.
But see the way they're happy to out themselves. They don't care. They're above board. They're above board. They're above law. They're above governing. It doesn't matter. That's why I feel it's ominous. I hope Joe is right and he thinks Bernardo will stay. And if he stay, it's completely finished next year. But listen, we could talk about Barcelona all night. The individual says, how many years have they sold their rights? I'm pretty sure it's indefinite. I don't think it might be 3 or 5, or else it's indefinite. Like there's no like set end to it. Dr. Footy, apparently Liga clubs were given a 2-season heads up that the wage cap was going to be implemented. I don't know, man. There's a huge amount to follow with Liga and Barcelona. How does it affect us? Bernardo Silva, basically, as it stands, the word is he's in Barcelona. Like I said, I saw him in the airport myself. The staff said he was getting on a private flight to Barcelona. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. Not a story I like talking about Bernardo Silva because I love him so much, and I still think there's a huge amount for Bernardo to offer to this team. Whether it's coming off the bench, he probably wouldn't want that because he probably is too good to be on the bench for a team. But if we were to hold on to him, he's still got a huge amount to offer. What are you going to say?
So are half of our players. Half our players are too good to sit in the match.
That's why they all leave.
Yeah, that's the thing when you play for City. Like, you can be a world-class player, but if you're playing for City and maybe not so much Liverpool right now because of their midfield crisis, but you know, a couple of years ago, Liverpool, when their midfield was really strong, you could be a world-class player and still be stuck on the bench for them, and that's the thing. Bernardo is staying, I believe, Hugh. That's Joe that's saying that, Dr. Footy, not me. I think he's gone. Dano says, I'm more disgusted by the Barca fans. They called De Jong puta for doing nothing. Doesn't that mean bitch in Spanish or something?
Bitch.
Yeah, they're booing players like De Jong, Braithwaite, who they illegally signed in the first place.
What does Braithwaite? What's he done to deserve?
Do you know exactly what he's done? Right? Now again, this is mental. They bill him for this, right? He is a millionaire. I think he is. I don't want to say self-made millionaire, but he's got companies all over the gaff that has made him like super rich. And Barcelona are now for taking away for playing for their club.
Right, listen, I don't want to give Barcelona any more airtime.
Puta. Pack of putas.
I don't want to give them any more airtime. Fuck Barcelona. Listen, let's move on to one of the main talking points of this stream, which was Erling Haaland. 25 in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe, and get in your thoughts on Erling Haaland's opening 2 Premier League games. 2 very different performances to analyse. Obviously, he got his 2 goals against West Ham. Didn't score, but got a really good assist. I was right in front of that assist in the Etihad yesterday. I was a couple of rows from the pitch, and I saw the work he put in. He used his body really well. Great assist, but naturally, a striker of his caliber, lads, is going to come under scrutiny when he finishes a game or gets pulled off in a game and hasn't hit the back of the net. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Because you know what, Sky put up that thing, their little 8-touch fucking statistic thing. He got 8 touches, 2 passes, one of which was an assist, and played unreal. Like, how if you were putting 8 touches in on that football and still playing unreal, you must be good. Like, we have people preying on his downfall at the moment, and we have people making up fail compilations of him coming out with an assist.
Yeah, I don't give a shit if Haaland touches the ball 3 times in one game. If his foot touches the ball, or his body touches the ball 3 times in one game, as long as those 3 times, or 2 of them, the ball goes in the back of the net. I don't know why we're suddenly analysing how many times a player has touched the ball. I mean, when was that a conversation in the past? I know it would be a statistic on screen and stuff when Sky showed the big statistic analysis breakdown. But when has that become a massive talking point? How many times a player has touched the ball? I don't care. I don't care how many times he's touched the ball, as long as when he does, it's efficient. Yesterday, it was efficient. And the way he plays as a striker, he's a magnet for defenders. It's only going to open up the floodgates for our midfielders and wingers, which is exactly what it did yesterday. How did we score 4 goals and no? Because the striker was a magnet for defenders. He was dragging centre halves and fullbacks out of position and leaving space for the likes of Foden to come in from the wing and get his goal. It's really smart play from Haaland. Yes, he will be judged on his goals, the same way people seem to want to judge Jack Grealish in his goals and assists. But what Haaland is doing and what he did yesterday was really effective. If you watch football and you analyse football and you look to understand the game and the way each club plays it, the way Haaland is going to play for us, it won't be the way he played for Dortmund. He will still score a shed load of goals, I believe that, but it won't be anywhere near the same as Dortmund, where they played that fast ball over the top and he just used his pace, because most teams in Germany seem to play this mad high line. It doesn't happen in England. Most teams in England, as we know, lads, sit really fucking deep against us, play an extremely low block and congest the area. With Haaland in our team, that's only going to be multiplied 10 times. They're going to be magnetised to Erling Haaland. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. But the thing is, that is like seemingly not ideal for him, but it's opening up pathways that, right, we have City have now signed this number 9. City are looking at have this man that is the main threat. Let's absolutely diverge on him. Oh bollocks, we've left open the wings. Here come Foden, here comes Mahrez, here comes Grealish, here comes Alvarez. Floodgates open, 4-0, all goals by wingers and midfielders.
It's an extremely probably hard role for Haaland to get used to and understand, because every club he's played for, he's played in a team that, you know, you lump the ball over the top. Almost like, I think our Centurions team would have suited Haaland down to a T. We play really fast football, down the wings, you hit your striker, ball over the top. It's all based on pace. But now it's kind of a hybrid of that and the false 9 system. Haaland will have to learn to drop deep if he wants to get more touches on the ball, or whenever he's not doing that and wants to get involved in the game, he needs to attract defenders, and that's what he did yesterday. I watched him. For those of you who watched on TV, when the ball's up the other end of the pitch to Haaland, you obviously can't see what he's doing because it's not on television. I was watching him. I couldn't take my eyes off just because Erling Haaland's right in front. He drags players around. You can see the fear of God in centre halves. They don't know what to do with him. They don't know what he's going to do next. And he's just a physical beast that they can't contain. It's frustrating for him, because when he doesn't hit the back of the net, naturally everyone's going, oh, he's flopping, or he's not playing the way, or he's not getting the goals that we all thought he would. I don't know, Joe. What do you think on the whole Haaland thing?
I mean, simplest way to put it is if Foden looks up in the first 10 minutes, he's got a goal and an assist, and everyone's going, wow, what a performance.
Yes.
He's won. He had 8 touches. Everyone's slandering him. If he gets 9 touches, everyone's going, "Wow, what a game!" 1 touch, and everyone's flipped their opinion around. It's stupid. He's not here to touch the ball 40 times. If we wanted someone up front to touch the ball 40, 50 times, we would never have signed Haaland. We would have continued the false 9.
We would have kept Raheem fucking Sterling. We would have kept Raheem Sterling and played him in false 9.
We would have played a false 9. We didn't sign Haaland to touch the ball. Like, it's stupid to suggest that him having 8 touches was a bad game. Like you said, he gravitates players. De Bruyne said it. He gravitates players towards him. 3 players around him. Midfielders have space. Gundogan scored. Foden scored. De Bruyne scored. Like, that is essentially 3 players who essentially take up midfield positions during the game who have scored because Haaland's basically occupying all 3 centre-backs at once. Like, hold-up play as well. Great. I mean, again, could have had a goal if Foden looked up. He could have had a goal himself, actually. He had one in the box that he sort of snatched at just before he was taken off as well. So he could have had 2 goals, 10 touches, 2 goals and an assist. Masterclass.
I don't want Haaland getting dropping really deep and getting involved in the intricate build-up play and getting really technical and essentially doing what Harry Kane does. Fantastic, because he's able to balance that with scoring goals. If Haaland can add that to his game on top of scoring goals, fantastic. But if it's just going to be a case of Haaland stays up top and gravitates defenders but gets goals when he can, that's all I want. I just want Haaland to hit the back of the net. Dano says here, we didn't sign Haaland to touch the ball, we signed him to kick the ball. We signed that guy just to find the back of the net, whether it's off his foot, his head, or his arse, and he only touches it twice, but both of them go in. I don't care. He's just there to score goals, and this whole 8-touch thing, I find it absolutely mental. And I think once Haaland gets to understand his role and he gets used to the Premier League, first of all, he hasn't had a massive test in the Premier League. He'll learn to adapt and he'll learn to read situations and where he should be and place himself. But even just being the way he is right now, which is a novice to the Premier League, he's still causing havoc. You should have seen in set pieces down my end of the pitch yesterday. Centre halves were grabbing him, trying to throw him around, and he's literally just fending them off with one arm, one hand. He's just fending them off and they're flying across the box. Like, the guy is an absolute unit that you don't know what to do with. And the next point I want to make is a kind of a weird point, but I think it's accurate. Haaland will feast the most against teams like Liverpool, against teams that really come up and in your face and press highly, that don't do the block, that don't sit back, absorb pressure and just hope that you don't score a shed load of goals like we did yesterday. They get in your face because they want to score goals. They want to be in the front foot. Games against the likes of Liverpool, games against the likes of PSG in Champions League or knockout football where the other team needs to win. They can't play for a point. That's when he will feast, because naturally the opposition will gravitate out the pitch when we go 1-0 up, or when they want to win the game themselves. They'll gravitate up the pitch and leave space in behind. That's when you'll see Haaland look like Dortmund and Norway's Erling Haaland. Not against the likes of Bournemouth or West Ham. That goal against West Ham, the second goal, was an example of what I'm talking about. Teams that move higher up the pitch. West Ham decided for a little bit now down. They wanted to chase the game. They wanted to get back into it. So their back four moved higher up the pitch at one point on the halfway line. And that's where De Bruyne was able to spot the gap, and Haaland, with the sense he has, spotted the gap, moved into it, and got the goal. It's an interesting one. What do we think?
Oh, go on.
I mean, it's interesting you make that Liverpool point, to be honest, because like that's the exact. It's almost like I agree with the Liverpool point. Again, high line, he can exploit it with his pace. The 2 goals that he has scored, one of which was a penalty. The way he won the penalty was a ball in behind. The way he scored against West Ham from open play, ball in behind. What was he doing against Liverpool in the Community Shield? He was coming deep to get the ball. He was getting on the end of just long balls, hoofs up the pitch, and it didn't work. So we're clearly not wanting him to come to get the ball, which is good. And yeah, like, he's going to be better against the better teams. Even not the better teams. I mean, look, United are going to try and play a high line under Ten Hag. I cannot wait to see how that one unfolds. He could genuinely hit 4 or 5. They're dead serious. Him against that Martinez guy, that fucking Smurf. My days. This, honestly, I can't wait. I think one of the biggest tests is, yeah, okay, against Bournemouth, he was fairly good. He didn't score, he only had 8 touches. They sit deep. What's he going to do against Spurs or Chelsea? A good team, a better team who will also sit deep. I think that's the real test of what he's going to do. Like, will he adapt to the situation or what? Obviously, Spurs come in September 10th. It's not too far away. We will see soon enough. But the games where you think he will flourish is Liverpool, United, any teams who want to try and play on the front foot. Brighton try and play on the front foot as well. Like, That's why the first goal in a game for us against a team like a Bournemouth and against West Ham when we scored first, that's how he scored his second, because we were 1-0 up and West Ham were pushing.
I kind of felt yesterday, even when I was at 0-0 or 1-0, 0-0, 1-0, whatever you want to say, either of those times, Bournemouth were just permanently in damage limitation mode. They showed absolutely no interest in going to get themselves into the game. They were just basically saying, we don't want to come out of here having lost 7-0. But with Haaland, like if this is Haaland right now, learning the system, understanding his role, adapting to Man City, adapting to the Premier League, with what we've already seen of him, he's only going to get better. He's going to be absolutely phenomenal. What we can expect from Erling Haaland is going to be absolutely mental. Rebel.
I can't agree anymore. Like he's just his whole aura. Like I know I take the piss out of the Van Aura thing, but his aura is literally like unmatched. And I said that he's dragging 3 men, 4 men to him, leaving everything open. And this is still novice Haaland. This is Haaland at 10%. We are seeing him against teams that are playing low blocks. This is before we've seen anyone playing like Southampton ball, Brighton ball, Liverpool, however you want to say it, anyone playing against a high line. Even against Liverpool, he was getting into those situations where no one could find him. This is going to be scary, you know. Like this is going to be scary for teams we play against, because he is going to open them up like a can of beans, man.
Listen, the overall takeaway from the opening 2 games with Erling Haaland is he's clinical as fuck. He's a magnet for centre defenders, space for midfielders and wingers. It's just problems overall for opposition, and I'm really excited to see how he progresses, because he is going to get better. He's 22 years old. He's playing under the best manager, who is also, in my opinion, the best coach and man manager in the world right now, Pep Guardiola. He's going to get better. Show him patience, but also enjoy it, because right now he's still a world-class player. And yesterday was his home debut in the Etihad. Give him some slack if he didn't score a goal, but his assist and the way he used his body and his strength to get that ball off, like I haven't seen a player with that strength in attacking area of the pitch for us in a long time. The way he was just throwing defenders around the pitch was scary. Right, listen, people, thank you all for joining us tonight. We wanted to do this as kind of like a pilot stream, a bit of a test run to see how you guys enjoyed chatting to us live. Thank you to everybody who came in. If you guys want to see us do more streams, we can do them maybe every second day or every day if there's enough to talk about. We will keep streaming. If you want us to stream and chat to us regularly, we will do. Just let us know. Our social media accounts are all linked down below in the description. Go follow our Twitter page at _the894. Tweet us there, say you want more streams, or leave it in comments under the videos.
On the screen.
It's on screen. Sorry, yeah, you can see it there. Go follow that up and tweet at us. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you would. We're just about to hit 3.2k. We're trying to hit 4k by Christmas. We think that should be doable. A lot of you guys have come over from the Big Six, and we really appreciate your support. Like I said, if you want more streams, we will do them. Just let us know. Let us know on social media or in the comments down below. Joe, wrap her up. Good night and God bless, people.